Once a product manufacturer has been selected for pre-certification or compliance certification, they are able to correspond with CalRecycle regarding questions or concerns pertaining to their specific product containers. Advisory opinions, either a question asked of the department or a request of a container determination, can only be requested by product manufacturers who have been selected for either the pre-certification or compliance certification phase, while waivers and exemptions can only be requested by product manufacturers who have been selected for the compliance certification phase. CalRecycle has provided product manufacturers the opportunity to request CalRecycle for written advice with respect to the product manufacturer's compliance with the RPPC law. Only product manufacturers who have received a pre-certification or compliance certification notice may request an advisory opinion and must submit the request in writing within 90 calendar days of receipt of their notice. Advisory opinions are product-specific, therefore must be prepared by the product manufacturer on a case-by-case basis. The product manufacturer must provide CalRecycle with sufficient and relevant information, providing the specific facts related to the specific question being asked. If a written request for advice does not meet the requirements listed in Section 17948.2 of the RPPC regulations, CalRecycle will notify the requester of that fact in writing. Otherwise, CalRecycle will issue a written opinion within 90 calendar days of receiving a request that meets the requirements for an advisory opinion request. CalRecycle can grant waivers from RPPC compliance for newly introduced products sold in California upon petition by a product manufacturer. A product manufacturer can petition for a waiver only within 90 calendar days of receipt of a compliance certification notice, or by the end of the certification period for newly introduced containers not known within 90 calendar days of the notice. Waivers are valid for 12 months from the date when the newly introduced product is first sold or offered for sale in California. And please remember that offered for sale includes remote sales through distributors and online sales. There are a few categories of containers and products that do not fall under the scope of the RPPC program. The first category of exemptions are RPPCs that are produced in or out of California, which are destined for shipment to other destinations outside the state and which remain with the products during that shipment. Destined for shipment to other destinations outside the state means that the sale of the RPPC to the final end user occurs outside of California. The second category of exemptions include RPPCs that contain drugs, medical devices, cosmetics, food, medical food, or infant formula as defined in the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. The third category of exemptions include RPPCs that contain toxic or hazardous products regulated by the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act. A fourth category of RPPCs that are exempt from the regulations are RPPCs that are manufactured for the use in the shipment of hazardous materials and are prohibited from being manufactured with used material by federal packaging material specifications and testing standards set forth in Title 49 of the Code of Federal Regulations. In order for a product manufacturer to claim an exemption, they must submit their claim under certain conditions. Exemption claims must be submitted within 90 calendar days of the product manufacturer receiving a certification compliance notification and needs to include photographs of the rigid plastic packaging container or containers, along with their corresponding label that clearly shows the name of the product or products for which the exemption is being claimed. A claim for exemption also needs to include the basis for the exemption, including specific citation to any applicable federal statutes or regulations, any applicable registration numbers, and any other supporting documentation needed to validate the claim.